Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Monday Morning Art Talk. Check out my home studio mentorship at silvertunes.com classes. Come join me November 16th for my DesignerCon workshop. Alright, so today what I wanted to do was ask you if you'd like a specific type of job, okay? And I want you to think about this and see if it's something that sounds good to you. Otherwise, you might say, hell no, I don't want to do that. So what does this job require? Okay, this is if I'm going to offer you something. I would like you to take a job. And that job that I want you to do, well, it requires guts. All right. That job that I want you to do takes commitment. That job that I want you to do takes thought. The job that I want you to do takes struggle. The job that I want you to do is going to be extremely frustrating at times. The job that I want you to do could be mentally draining. You're going to be drained. The next thing that I'd like you to do for this job is sometimes, not all the time, it's going to be pretty soul-sucking, okay? And the job that I'd like you to do and offer you, it's going to be exhausting. It's going to be challenging, too. And these are all the different requirements that you need to fulfill in order for you to take this job. And what is that job? That job is for you to be an artist, to do what it is that you want to do. And I'm not going to lie. This job, however, I will say is very rewarding. To be able to have the ability to conjure up something out of your imagination and be able to put it down on paper and then be able to trade that idea for currency so that you can live is an amazing thing. That it starts from here, works its way down through here, comes out through your hand, and boom, wow, I can trade something that is inherently within me, within my soul, within my body, that now I can make a living at this. So that's the good thing about all this. But I want to just really tap on the other thing, and this is based on personal experience, is even as a character designer, it can be a struggle. It can be a struggle. And I don't want to just say it's just, not just a struggle just trying to get work or find work and all that. That's a whole different beast. That's a whole different thing. What I want to tap into today is realistically the struggle that I still go through all the time. None of this is easy. None of this is easy. And this is, if it can give you any sort of hope that, wow, even the professionals go through this. Even the professionals struggle with this. And that is when you're given a task and all of a sudden you got to start coming up with these ideas. Again, the ideas are the hardest phase within this. Okay, now what's about to happen now again is I'm about to sneeze, maybe, but it might disappear and you might not even know. I've figured out how to do this magic. It's the greatest magic ever. So if it happens, you won't know, and I won't mention that again. But what I just want to say to you is the struggle of all of a sudden you're given this task, you get the breakdown of a script or an idea, a premise, okay? And that's what's usually given to you when you're working for it doesn't matter what level of company you're working with. Some companies have more of a defined script. A lot of the times it's very loosely based, very simple. It's just like, we want a tree beast that has 10 tentacles. Okay, that's it. But anything else you can give me? Well, not really. We want to see what you come up with. Oh, geez. And that's the challenge, right? So all of a sudden you got to come up with this idea, this concept, and just trying to figure it out. So you're using that mental juice and you start putting it down on paper. Again, this happens to me. I never hit things straight off the first drawing. It rarely happens for me. Not to say that it hasn't happened for me, but it's very rare that it just comes boom, just straight away. And that's something that you got to keep in mind and know. That it's not a race when it comes to this. It's not how fast can I get this down on paper and it be success in that first drawing. That's something I used to believe when I was younger. I always felt that you had to just kind of hit it right off the bat. I used to think that you can't even make mistakes. You're a professional. You can't make mistakes. And I remember when one of the biggest things, you guys can't see it, but you know what? I'm going to let you see it here. Hopefully it'll show. But over here is some Mort Drucker artwork, some original artwork that I have. And I can't remember how old I was, but when I found this and got this, and I saw that there was whiteout on his drawings, and it's all throughout just, different areas on different parts of the, his drawings, I go, oh my God, Mort Drucker messes up. Mort Drucker, the Mad Magazine. Hopefully you guys know who he is. But I thought, oh my God, Mort Drucker messes up. He's rethinking his thought. He put something down and it didn't work out, and he had to redo it. He had to fix it. And at that point, it was really a great thing. And I distinctly remember that it felt so good. Felt so good that someone good messed up. It was great. It was like, woo, it took a weight off my shoulders. Like, I don't have to be perfect. Stop this nonsense of trying to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be able to put something down and ideas down and know that things are going to change and things are going to alter, and that's just what's going to happen. All right? And this is all just part of the process, and that's why I just want to say, I was working on some designs the other day, and this is why this art talk sort of came up, I was just struggling just to try to get these ideas. I kept doing all these little thumbnails, and it just wasn't coming. Granted, at different times of the day, my dogs are going a little crazy. My dog jumped off my second story not too long ago, and I'll be right back, but you won't even know that I'm going to disappear right now. Just like that, I'm back. So what happens was, sometimes it's the different timing of day. And I think this is something all artists go through. Sometimes you're more creative in the morning. Sometimes you're more creative in the afternoon. Sometimes the evening. Sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat with an idea and something that you can start putting it down. But this is all part of the acceptance and the reality of what this field is that you're getting into, that it can just be... It can almost depress you, you can get depression from art, absolutely. And that depression, once again, comes from sometimes that idea in your head, which is often it, just not being able to put it down on paper and actually making it what you're seeing in your head and going, what is missing? What's happening? I'm using all the tools. I got everything down here. This is what I intended to do, but it's still not coming that way. There's going to be times where it's going to be easy. There's going to be times where it's going to be hard. You're going to get some challenging exercises and just challenging clients that are going to present themselves to you, and you're going to think that you can never do this, but some way you're going to figure it out and work it all out. But that's the reality of this whole situation that can be, again, I don't want to shine this whole negative light on it, because it's not. It's just part of the process, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. You'll find that most artists will never even show you their sketches. They won't even show you the amount of work and effort goes into just getting that final idea. I personally love seeing the rough sketch. I love seeing the thought process, oftentimes more than I like seeing someone's finish, because I just kind of want to know the journey. I want to know what they've gone through. I want to see the struggle. And sometimes, you'll find that there's even teachers who won't draw anything in front of you, because they know that they're not going to hit it off the bat, and they start to get nervous that as they're drawing, they're not creating magic straight away, and all of a sudden may start to feel that, oh, this guy really doesn't know what he's doing. That's not the truth. The truth of the matter is, it's just like any teacher has to figure that stuff out. You got to go through that process. Again, it's challenging. It gets hard, and I think without rambling on here, this is a shorter art talk, but this is the reality. Is like, I want you to know that everyone, goes through this. Your favorite artists, go through this. It's definitely, can be hard, and it can knock you out. I've been knocked out for like a day where I was knocked out. I hit a brick wall and it just kind of hit me and I just went whoop and I just went down and I'm just trying to recover and get back up, so to speak, and say, dang man, why am I feeling in such a lousy mood? I'm feeling in a lousy mood because I'm not achieving, I'm not putting down on paper what I wanted. It's not hitting, it's not registering, it's not there. And then maybe if you're working in a professional field and you're getting notes and you're getting a lot of revisions and you're going, what's going on? What's happening? And then you start to think that you're an imposter. You start to think that once again, I'm sort of like, I'm fooling everyone. I don't know what I've done here, but I've bamboozled them all. They believe that I'm something when I'm really not. And you go in these horrible phases. But again, the professional in you snaps back up, and all that I can say to you, and you guys, you've probably experienced it, and nothing lasts forever. There's all things come to pass. It's I'm not a religious man, but it's a religious biblical thing that all things come to pass. And that's the reality, is that all things come to pass, and it will come to pass. All those struggles, all that depression, that mindset, that frustration, everything that you think is your whole world is blowing up right now, it comes to pass at some point, and sometimes it can take that little bit of time. So what do I do in these situations? That might be your question. So what do you do? And really, it's just timing. It's like oftentimes it's like drawing something completely different outside of what it is you're even supposed to do. I found is very helpful, and just putting you back into drawing something you're familiar with, just because it maybe puts a little bit more of that confidence back in you. Sometimes I will grab some of my art books that I have. I wouldn't go on the internet by any means and start looking at people's artwork. And the reason that I don't want to go into a Pinterest and a Tumblr and all that, because then you start just wasting time. Then all of a sudden that artwork leads you to something else, and you start looking at something else, and then you're looking at this, then you're looking at that, and before you know it, you're 2 hours into just getting even more upset that look at all this brilliant artwork and looking at all these other different artists, as opposed to when you just find a book, usually it's the Silver Way. You like that, how I kind of do that in there? I'm just kidding. And you grab a book and all of a sudden you flip through it, and then you just go, you can stop. There's a starting and a stop, and you go, okay, I got my fill of those, 20 pages, 40 pages, 100 pages, whatever it is. And then maybe that might rejuvenate something, into you. But again, it's a common thing, and nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to be scared of, nothing to be just walk away from and want to just throw up your pencils and just be, that's it, I quit, I'm out of this business, I don't want to do it anymore. You don't want to do that. This is all about persistence. This is all about just getting knocked down and getting back up and just trying to make things work and try to figure it out, okay? And that's what I want to share with you guys today, all right? So that's it. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for sharing. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Take care. Hello, this is Steven, and I just wanted to tell you about this cool thing that I'm doing right now through my website at silvertunes.com. It's a Skype mentorship. In a sense, what I want to do is just talk to you, meet you, tell me about things that are happening in your life, see if there's anything that I could do to help you. I can look over your artwork, do your portfolio, and just maybe try to push you in the right direction that you want to take your life and your journey, all right? So you can go to silvertunes.com, go to classes, click on mentorship, and you can learn all about it. We can try to arrange a time, set up a date. It doesn't matter where you live in the world. And I just wanted to make it just very affordable, just to open it up, because I love doing this. I love meeting people from all over the planet. It's a really cool thing, and with this technology, why not? So that's it. Thanks. Hey. Go. Go back. Go back.
Go back.
Great. Go back. Go.